Why are billionaires building bunkers? It's a question that whispers of fear, power, and a future that nobody wants to imagine. So, let's imagine it. Just for a moment. You wake up tomorrow morning. The sun is shining. Everything feels normal. You check your phone. Breaking news. Markets unstable. Cyber attacks spreading. Power grids failing. The alerts keep coming. Governments making emergency announcements. Social media exploding with panic and confusion. And then, through the noise, you discover something deeply unsettling. Some of the wealthiest people on Earth already prepared for this exact scenario. Years ago, they built private compounds, secured massive land purchases in remote locations, constructed underground shelters, engineered completely self-sustaining systems, independent energy, independent water, independent food. They created islands of stability, while the rest of the world was just waking up to the crisis. Now hold on. Before anyone jumps to conclusions, let's be perfectly clear. This is not a video claiming secret knowledge. This is not a video accusing anyone of crimes or promoting conspiracy theories. And this is definitely not a video telling you that the world is ending tomorrow. That kind of fear doesn't help anyone. This is a different conversation entirely. It's about what these actions represent. Because the real question isn't, are billionaires building bunkers? The evidence shows many are openly investing in preparedness infrastructure. That part is not a secret. The real question is, what do they know? Or what do they believe that the rest of us don't? Why do ordinary people immediately assume something terrible is coming? Because that reaction itself tells us something about the world we're living in. And tonight, we're going deeper. Not into conspiracy. Into psychology. Into power. Into fear. Into a system where trust may be becoming the rarest resource on Earth. Before we go any further, I want you to comment one word right now. Prepared or paranoid? No middle ground. Do you think building massive shelters is smart planning? Or a warning sign? Drop it below. I want to see where people stand before we get deeper into this. Because halfway through this video, the wall people are really talking about. People hear a story about large compounds, land acquisitions, and underground construction and immediately imagine movie scenes. Hidden rooms. Secret tunnels. Apocalypse scenarios. The end of civilization. But step back. Strip away the drama. Ask a simpler question. If you had $100 billion, yes, what would you do? Would you buy another sports car? Another yacht? Another mansion? At some point, luxury reaches a limit. You can only sleep in one bed. You can only drive one car at a time. So eventually money stops buying things and starts buying something else. Certainty. Control. security, protection, the ability to reduce risk. Because extremely wealthy people don't think like average people. Average people ask, how do I make money? People operating at extreme levels ask, how do I preserve survival? This isn't about doomsday fantasy. It's about risk management on a planetary scale. And here's where things become interesting. Because for years, many wealthy individuals have purchased remote land, large ranches, private islands, agricultural property, self-sustaining technology, backup systems, emergency planning infrastructure. They're investing in hardened data centers to protect information, off-grid microgrids to ensure power, access to seed vaults to guarantee food sources, and private satellite communication backups to stay connected when public networks fail. A luxury watch tells time, but a water filtration system buys you time. A sports car is an asset, but an all-terrain vehicle is a tool. Not necessarily because they know something specific, but because uncertainty itself has become valuable. And uncertainty is everywhere. Economic uncertainty, where markets feel more like casinos than systems. Political uncertainty, where the foundations of alliances and nations seem to shift overnight. Technological uncertainty, as innovation accelerates beyond our capacity to understand its consequences. Social uncertainty, global uncertainty. Look around. People feel it. You feel it, even if you cannot explain it. Something feels unstable. Maybe not collapse. Maybe not catastrophe. But something feels different. The age of permanent anxiety. Here's something uncomfortable. We live in the most technologically connected period in human history, and simultaneously one of the most psychologically exhausted periods. We have information constantly. Constant alerts. Constant outrage. Constant fear. Constant division. 24 hours a day. Every day. Your brain never gets silence anymore. Think about previous generations. Bad news traveled slowly. Today, bad news travels instantly. Your phone becomes a delivery system for stress. And eventually, if people stop asking, "Is this dangerous?" and start asking, "What am I missing?" Pause right here. I want to ask something. If tomorrow you suddenly had unlimited resources, would you build a luxury mansion? A private island? A bunker? Or something completely different? Comment your answer now. Because the next section is where this discussion becomes uncomfortable. Because we're not talking about billionaires anymore. We're talking about us. Maybe the bunker isn't the story. Maybe the underground shelter isn't actually the story. Maybe the real story is this. Why are millions of ordinary people convinced that powerful people are escaping something? Think about that for a moment. People don't react this way during periods of confidence and stability. People react this way during periods of deep, prolonged uncertainty. When inflation rises and paychecks feel smaller. people react. When trust in our financial systems drops, people react. When institutions that are supposed to protect us seem to struggle, people react. When people feel ignored, left behind, and unheard, people react. And today, the drivers of uncertainty are everywhere. We feel the fragility of global supply chains, where a single disruption overseas can mean empty shelves at home. We see the growing threat of cyber risks, capable of shutting down power grids or financial markets in an instant. And most importantly, we sense a growing information asymmetry, a gap between what we are told and what we suspect is really happening. Eventually, after absorbing all this instability, people begin asking a fundamental question. Do people at the top play by different rules? Because history contains clear examples where powerful groups protected themselves first, insulating their wealth and safety from the crises they helped create. History contains examples where ordinary people were left to pay the price, bearing the full weight of economic collapse or social upheaval. And history is filled with examples where critical information wasn't equally distributed, giving insiders an advantage while the public remained in the dark. Now, that doesn't automatically mean every rumor is true. Being prepared for a crisis is not the same as predicting one. But this historical context explains exactly why people become suspicious. It explains why the idea of a secret escape plan feels so plausible to so many. Suspicion is a weed that grows in the cracks of a broken system. It grows where trust dies. Maybe the future isn't about hidden bunkers. Maybe the future is about something much bigger. Who controls information? Who controls trust? And who controls fear? Because walls underground aren't the only walls being built. Some walls are digital. Some are psychological. Some are invisible. And maybe the most dangerous walls are the ones between those who can leave and those who can't. If the world ends, they have exits. We have warnings. While bunkers seal and private jets lift, timelines keep scrolling. Silence is purchased. Panic is public. Remember, it's easy for billionaires to escape the end. For regular people, there's nowhere to go. The question is, what are these billionaires hiding? If this made you think, don't let it vanish. Tap subscribe. Like this video so more people see it. Share it with one person who's building walls or breaking them. Drop one word in the comments. Prepared or paranoid. Your signal tells the algorithm which future gets amplified. Your move.